موت بخريستوس. Aftomf is the F is the past and Tomf is the F في الآخر. What's the letter?
Phi.
Phi, is it? Phi is for the third person. Evolve out. Chen from or out of. Niez moot ni اللي هي those who died. يعني موت is died. فتبقى from the dead or from those who died.
برافو. ناخد اللي بعده. Who is going to do this bit? Sorry. لو في حد is not going to do the presentation and would love to do the highlighted one, please go ahead. And instead of me asking people, embarrassing them.
I can try if I don't mind.
Yes, please, Amir. Yes, please.
I think Fiat of Mu of Homi, Jean of Mu. Fiat of Mu is, I guess, the one who killed. The one. I've been out of it a bit, so I'm slow. But
No,
like if I were to disentangle them, I guess the first two Phi is always the one. It relative particle, or said et off was in one part. But Mu, I guess, a verb that I'm not sure about. I thought it was to kill, but I'm not sure.
It's correct, by the way. And you can mark it with ismu'ut, with ifmu as well. So
right. You're right. Yeah. So it's more. Yeah. Of Homi is past tense, third person, masculine, and Homi it's also a verb. I forgot the meaning because I guess the Arabic is on top of it, but I cannot read Arabic. So
it's not Arabic translation. It is the sound of it.
Okay.
So Arabic, Coptic and Arabic letters. So.
I see. Of Homi.
Can somebody help Emir with Afhomi? You keep going with the analysis, and then somebody else can help you.
Good idea. Okay. Ejen, I think, means on, or yeah. And then Fmu is again definite article, and then death, the death. So who killed, and then something on the death, something like that.
Can somebody help with Afhomi? What is Afhomi?
Abouna stepped on اللي هو
داسة
يعني
by his this he tripped on he stepped.
Okay.
Correct.
In English, trampled.
What happened? Sorry. I have pressed something wrong.
Okay.
Who would like to volunteer to do this bit? It is part of the sentence, not the full sentence. Actually, if we would like to do the full sentence, we go to the end. يعني had to do this. أوه نية كيخن بي إم هاف.
أنا ممكن عشان مش مجهز بالفيديو.
اوكي.
أوه نية كيخن ني إم هاف. أوه أند نية كي نية اللي هم الذين.
Those who are, yes.
كي يعني الموجودين يعني أو اللي في المكان يعني خين يعني في إن ني إم هاف the tombs القبور.
برافو, well done. حد would like to carry on the last four words?
كي هي أبونا كي هي كاكوكي، الصورة الوصفية من فعل قال، هو موضوع يضع، يبقى أولئك الذين موضوعين.
بالظبط. Those who are placed in the tomb or being set. Had would like to volunteer to do this? I can see we have Pillar Minchawi with us. You've been away for a long time. Can you speak? Or you can listen only? I don't know. But apparently it's hard for her to speak. But either Megid or Kurus, can you finish off the lahn, the hymn?
Af ig ehmot no u en onch en ene. Ig ehmot means to bless. Af ig ehmot, he blessed them. No u is them.
Okay, keep going, keep going.
Not blessed. Okay, we'll see. MP onch. Onch means life. P onch, the life. MP onch with the life. NNA. NNA can be an adjective meaning eternal, with the eternal life.
So how would you translate the whole sentence?
He gave them the eternal life. He blessed them with it. I am not sure.
Somebody to help to agree or disagree with Carlos? What is blessed, by the way, in Coptic? Can you think of another verb to do with Coptic word to do with blessing? But what is Ari Ehmut?
Yeah, Ismu. Ismu is ook means blessing. Ismu.
So what is Ehmut? Ari Ehmut. Er Ehmut is complex verb with er. You're expert in this. What is Ehmut?
It can mean also to gift. He gifted them.
Well done. He gifted them. He granted them. This is it. You get it correctly. Sometimes, and that is the daily language. I've learned this from Dr. Nabil Ishaq. Like when you say someone, like in Arabic, please or tfaddal, you say Ari Ehmut. Please do favor and sit down. Please speak. So for instance, Carlos, you're about to tell us your presentation, and then I say, Ari Ehmut, please start, something like this.
Yep.
That is in daily use of the word. But of course, it is to grant or to offer a gift or to make a gift or something. And you're expert in complex verb. Can you think of a different beginning for Ehmut and make it a different word?
He Ehmut, to lay gift.
Something to start with shy.
Shepehmut.
Oh yeah, Shepehmut. Yeah.
Ehmut. Shepehmut. What is Shepehmut?
To thank.
Thank, that's correct. Yeah. Can you think of something else? I don't know. That's what's on my mind.
Blessing.
Sorry,
Shebehmot. Accept blessing. So it's a complex for accepting blessing. Sheb, to accept, and ehmot, the blessing. That's why in the total term, shebehmot in tok, to accept blessing from your hand, or in tot in mfnoti, from the hand of God.
Yes, sir. And I just can I check? Somebody can I check the dictionary? Can see is ehmut means a gift or does it mean blessing as well?
I thought it meant grace, by the way, right?
Grace, yeah. For me, it's a grace, not a blessing. If you can find a dictionary, then you are right. But in my mind, it's a gift. It's a grace, something like this. So I agree with you. Anyway.
In Arabic, نعمة.
نعمة بالضبط. Gift, grace. هي كده لكن مش blessing. Blessing is baraka in Arabic. And it's ismu in Coptic. Ismu could be verb or a noun. Ismu choice, bless the Lord. And I can't think noun as a noun.
خن بي اسمه.
خن بي اسمه. برافو عليك. صح. In the blessing or something. طيب. Now we finished quickly the hymn. Let me stop sharing now. And now we have sort of half an hour or more for each person to start with doing the presentation. I'm aware that Magid has finished his presentation, and Carlos. So may I invite both of you to start first? Start with Magid because you didn't do analysis. Give us 5 or 6 minutes talk about what you've done already, and then allow everybody else to, if they have questions or comments on your work, the way to enhance it or to add to it or something. I don't know. So please start, Ari Ahmed. If you would like to share the screen, I don't know. You can share.
I have to share screen. Can you give me admin? To share.
Can I make everyone admin وراح دماغي? How can I do this? Just bear with me.
ممكن allow share screen if it's available.
How can I do this?
From the setting allow هتلاقي في security.
More record this computer. Boss, and what I have a security. Yes, I have security. Okay.
Allow share for all.
Look meeting, enable waiting room, hide the profile picture, share screen. Allow participants share screen. Okay. Okay. Can you share screen now?
Yes.
Yes, let me minimize this. Okay.
Okay, now essay about the analysis for the Orthodox Creed. Okay, قانون الإيمان الأرثوذكسي. Okay, of course, according this is the full text. Okay, I analyze it sentence by sentence. So I don't think we have time to go in each one, but I'll show you the structure of the essay. Then I will focus only about 1 or 2 main sentences, which have actually a big impact in the meaning. The structure goes as this. يعني when we say خن أمت مي تنهتي إونوتي إنوت. Okay. So خن in في أو ب أو is unknown article أداة نكرة. myth is اسم المعنى. I don't know what is اسم المعنى in English, but and it's because it's followed by one of the Vilmenord letters, so it come as myth instead of mate. Me is right or just. So myth me is justice or truth together. Tain is the first present tense for us, for we. Nahti, believe, the verb to believe. A here عشان هنا فعل لازم فما بيجيش معاه مفعول به، فبالتالي الايه هنا مش علامه مفعول به، هي هنا حرف جر عشان هو من ب. او نوتي هنا او is normally it's coming as capital letter, and this is I think it's intended when we talk about unoti is not it is not here unknown, it's here use the short form of one. Okay, as one unoti ilah. In connection for adjective. Uwot is one or wahid, one, farid. Okay, that's the meaning of the sentence. We keep on going. If not, if yot, bibandokrator. Bibandokrator is the Greek, it's a Greek word, contains of pan, to, krator. Krato is the power or is the power mainly. To krato is the power. Pan to krato, pan means fully or full or So all together is كلية القدرة or full of power. And B, of course, the. Okay, so that's the meaning of B Pantocrator. I don't know Abouna time. Should I go like
Yeah, you have 1 more minute. If you would like to carry on, you have 1 more minute to
Right.
speak, and then we can ask
I
a
want
question.
to highlight another verse which is very important. 1 second. Okay, when we go to O homoousios bei nemifiot. Okay, O homoousios bei nemifiot, that's the reason for Nicaea and Magma Nicaea mainly. Why was it for the Orthodox Creed? Why was it created? Okay, the whole argue was between Arius and Pope Athanasius. Athanasius secondary.
Sorry, Miss Maggie, can I stop you for a second?
Yeah.
In the presentation, in one essence with the Father, it's 2 words, not 1 word. So make a space later on. It's type mistake. Don't worry. In the English, at the bottom of the left bottom from my side of the presentation of one essence with the Father. Yeah,
yes,
it's just make space. Angelus highlighted.
Oh, okay.
But it's not a big deal, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So actually, in Arabic, when we say it, we normally say it مساوي للآب في الجوهر of one essence. Sometimes it's being translated. Some people are saying واحد مع الآب في الجوهر. Okay. The meaning is not wrong. We cannot say it's wrong. But if we say it واحد مع الآب في الجوهر, one with the Father in essence, then it loses the whole idea of why the sentence was created. Okay, so let's go through. It's O homoousios bei nemifiot. Okay, what Pope Athanasius' statement was, it is O homoousios bei nemifiot. What Arius said, O homoousios bei nemifiot. He just added this iota. Okay, so the argument was, is it homoousios or homoousios? Okay, if you go deeply through the meaning, we will see the difference here. Homoousios actually is coming from homos, which is same, and ousia is essence, jawhar. So it is same essence. It is the same essence. So it's exactly equal to him, exactly the same essence. Okay, type. What is, if we go to homoousios, actually homoousios, this is given as homoios is alike or in alike manner. Okay, so it is, he's saying it is from the same type, but it's not equal. Okay, so he didn't say it's a different. He's saying it's from the same type. Okay, alike. Like when you look at about here, homoios is alike, in a like manner. Okay, and accordingly, what he was saying, okay, alike, like the essence. So it is like his essence, but it is not equal to the same essence of the Father. So that's why the correct or the accurate translation in Arabic is musawi, equal to the essence. Okay. Then the presentation goes on for the rest of the creed. So if anybody have any question about,
please now feel free to ask Magid if you have any question or comment. I have a couple of questions, but I'll wait for everyone first to start. شدوا حيلكم.
I have thank you, Megid, for your presentation. Very, very good. I didn't know this information about I mean, I knew I knew Arius and Athanasius, but I didn't know that specifically there was a linguistically there was a a difference that you could make, and you could point, and you could figure out which theory is a more is true. And my question is that is that not my question is the following. It's is this problem about
homoousios and homoousios.
Yeah, this difference, what did it have a major impact on the the theory formulated by Arius, or is it like more complementarily to what he always to his ideas? Like I knew that he pointed also a verse in the Bible saying that like Jesus talking to the disciples saying, I'm going to the Father because the Father is bigger. Yeah. I was taught that this verse was the major reason why he formulated his idea. I didn't know about this one, so I just wanted to know which one is had the major impact. This verse or is this linguistic difference?
See, from my reading about Arius was a very smart guy. He worked on two levels. One, for the common people. For the common people, he was making songs, like Bible songs, things like this, with his beliefs. So it can be easily understood by people. In the creed, he just added a iota in the middle. So people will start saying it as he's saying it. Later on, the meaning will be changed in the concept of the people. Okay. This is from one point. From the other point, in discussions with the popes and the bishops and everything, of course, he will argue with the Bible verse. So, in both levels, he was trying to prove his points.
Okay.
The creed was after Arius, not before.
No.
Arius was the reason for the creed.
Every church has a creed before Nicaea. In Nicaea, they fixed a common creed for all the church. There is around 20 creeds was stated by the bishops in Nicaea, and it was all the same except for Arius and 2 or 3 of the people that was following his beliefs. So accordingly, the gathering in Nicaea, they set as per each of the churches have received their faith. Okay, so as we receive it now, yes, it was set in Nicaea, but based on the previous creeds that was available in all the churches, including our Coptic church.
Okay.
Abouna, you have anything to add on this point or to correction?
And I was focusing on some Coptic grammar thingy. But I was not listening with full concentration, but I think I'm in agreement with Magid. Basically, Arius tried to manipulate the meaning. Instead of saying equal to the Father, said similar to the Father. And by doing similar, he would argue later, okay, he's similar to the Father, but he is not equal to the Father. just by changing one single word. It was trying
One
to
single
play.
letter, adding one single letter in the word.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it was clever.
Let me show you
بس
one
يعني
funny
على
comic.
مين؟
You know Saint Nicholas, Santa Claus. He was attending as well. The Nicholas. So this is one of the comics there.
Yeah, I like this one. That's funny.
So the kid is tricking him. Homoousios or homoiousios? What? You are so that means you are not the real Santa.
Yeah, because real Santa was present in night.
Yeah, so he will know if because he slapped him. He slapped Arius because of this.
Magid, can I just have 3 quick comments?
Yeah.
And allow next person to speak. Can we go back to first slide, please?
Sure.
The one beforehand. I need this one. I will come to this one in a minute, but yeah, the full text. When you present, yes, this one. The first comment is I'm very impressed about the presentation. Wise, with coloring, with clarity, with analysis of each word in a very good way. You didn't even ignore the theological aspect of it. You tried to explain to us the theological debate. You tried to explain the Greek words, so they are all to your credit. I'm very impressed. I'm very happy about this. As a general comment. My first question is, when you put all these colors, do you have any specific meaning to do with the colors, or just randomly you choose colors? Yani, why green, why yellow, why red, why white? Does it have any meaning for you, or just by chance? عشان بس to make it easier to read, yeah.
No, to make it easier to read, to have a sequence, we can easily split sentences with that is to get this sentence together make a meaning, like the one especially you'll find this one here, which is normally comes makes an Arabic mistake. Afeshi sarks evil can be nem mais web nem evil can nem evil can Maria ti Parthenos. That's a complete sentence. It's ended here. So Tagassad, he took a body, he took his flesh from the Holy Spirit and from Mary. Another sentence, O of a Romi. That's totally separate sentence with separate verb, and accordingly it has to be split. In Arabic, some people say تجسد من الروح القدس ومن العذراء تأنس. So accordingly they make Evolchen Maria Ti Parthenos of Romi. They remove O. And accordingly it gives different meaning, that totally different meaning. In Coptic it's very clear that it is separate sentences, and according to that why I make this split in colors and split in the sentences, so it can be easily analyzed.
Thank you, Megan. I have this is a question about presentation, but second question regarding the grammar. The first sentence, the slides you showed us about Tenati, Onoti, I know this one. Second line, and I leave this for your answer or somebody else in the class to answer. You analyzed it Tenati Onoti and said A is a proposition. It's like in.
Yeah. Yes.
And you rejected the explanation that it is the sign of the object of the verb. علامة المفعول به. Although it can be interpreted as علامة المفعول به. Do you have any reason why you choose E to be a proposition, not as a sign of the object of the verb?
Yeah, because the verb nahti itself is not followed by مفعول به.
Are you 100% sure? Can I argue with you about this?
لازم. It's fair. See, even in Arabic, أنا أؤمن. if you want to follow with anything, it will be حرف جر. It will not be مفعول به. يعني أنا أؤمن الله, it cannot be. لازم أنا أؤمن بالله.
And I think you followed the Arabic translation.
No,
but in
no,
Coptic,
even in Coptic, I can get the reference for the verbs that are not followed by not for what is مفعول به in English?
object of the verb.
Yeah, not followed by object, non-object verbs. So there is some couple of verbs like that.
It's the same in English. We say, I believe in, as you say, not, you say, I believe, you don't say, I believe God, I believe in. Believe somebody means like different meaning from believe in. So we say we believe in one God, but I can say I believe you. It's a different. It's not, doesn't mean believing. It means like and I'm صدقك. I believe you, but if you say I believe in you, means faith.
Just one funny thing is بالحقيقة نؤمن in Arabic it needs to be corrected as well. It's a small mistake. In Coptic, I checked several places now before talking to you, especially in Gospel of St. John. The verb tinnahti. He says tinnahti eroi, tinnahti erok, tinnahti erote.
Exactly. So arrow is a with when we لما بنصرفها مع ايه هو حرف الجر ايه لما بنيجي نصرفها without مفعول به بيتصرف بتبقى ايروي
مفعول به ايروك مش كده؟
ايروك
انا بالنسبه لي ايروك ضمير مفعول به
لا مش ضمير مفعول به هو تصريف حرف الجر ايه
اوكي انسو ضميريه اوكي
يعني احنا المفروض ان احنا بنقول ايه اليك يعني احنا بنقولها كانها اليك اليه الي او بتيجي بمعنى ايايا اياك
اياي دي ضمير مفعول به
يعني حسب هي جايه في ايه فهي بتبقى اليك او اياك حسب هي جايه كمفعول به او جايه مفعول به في حاله حذف المفعول به فجاي ضمير بس او في حاله لو فعل لازم هتبقى جايه اليك او بك حسب المعنى.
I think some people now will complain that we are speaking in Arabic.
Can I ask Abouna? What is the disagreement about? So the disagreement is one side saying when we say the verb nahti, we always have to add a behind it, whereas another side saying we can have the verb nahti and just have it as is.
No, there are two sides of the argument. Either A is a proposition, we believe in one God, or in God one. So E here is like N in English. Or E can be sign when it is followed by a word that the word that follow it is the object of the verb. So I asked a question, does the verb nahti, believe in Coptic, have objects or not? So Magid's argument is it doesn't have objects. So and I think Dr. Medhat agreed with it. So they say, we believe in one God. So E here is preposition is like in English or something. It's a letter. For me, I'm still thinking because that is, I think Magid is coming from Arabic background. I'm coming from Arabic background. So did he translate it as to make it similar to the Arabic translation, or can it still be a sign of object? So basically, what I'm trying to think about, figure out, does verb nahti has an object or not? And that's where I came up with an idea, and Magid is strongly and persuasively convincing me that it doesn't have any object. So this is basically all about.
I see. Thank you.
Um, I'm not going to waste the time of everyone on this one, but I'm trying to think in terms of Greek language. I think the verb bisteo, I believe, or bisteo mean we believe. Does it take object or not? I'm trying to remember that. And definitely I'll keep searching the verb nahti in the Coptic Bible and see if it has object or not. But I think Magid made a strong case. But for me, I'm still doubtful. I'm still looking for more convincing evidence. That doesn't mean that Magid didn't offer strong evidence. Yes, he did. But I'm still looking for more, if that makes sense. Thank you very much, Magid, for this.
Abouna, can I ask one question?
Yes,
Because I look on tasbeha.org, I found some example with the verb nahti. So I see one sentence saying, so this, for example, is a sentence where I don't see it's tinahti je. So I believe that.
Yeah.
And is that a counter? I'm still confused a little bit, but this is a counter example, or is this still?
Exactly.
You know what
this
object
believe
is?
this is prove the point. Because you have to add J to say what you believe in. You didn't say I believe, and you directly said what you believe in as an object. You added J to say what you believe in. I believe that.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, both of you, actually. It's a very interesting and very brainstorming discussion. Thank you very much, Magid, for this. Who else would like? We have sort of 15 minutes. So who is next? Can I recommend Carlos to start? Because Carlos made a wonderful presentation and I enjoyed reading it.
I can, but it's just the PDF.
You can still share screen, can't you?
I will see how I can do it.
Okay. While Carlos is still figuring out how to share the screen, one of the things I share my thought with you, yeah. If I'm going to do next class, I'm trying to think, instead of each one doing something separate, I'm trying to think the whole class would do a project, like analysis of the Psalms of Bascha, analysis of the 4 horses of Tasbaha, something like this. What do you think of this idea? Until Carlos get ready, yeah. So instead of leaving each one to choose whatever they like, probably I'll be asking everyone to do certain part and to make a complete project about something.
It will vary according to the level of the people participating, but mainly you can do first host, put it into according to the number of people there. Okay, this is as an exercise. Each one will analyze by his own, let's say, first four pieces. Okay, then once they completed this, submitted it, you can go to the second host, or at the end you will have one complete project. And at least you will come up with one complete analyzed text, which will be helpful as well for all the service. Yeah.
Thank you, mate, for this. Carlos,
okay. Can you all see it? Is it visible?
Can you?
For me, yes, but if you can zoom it a little
make
bit
it
more.
width according to the width of the paper.
Like this?
Yeah, this is good for me.
Okay. So my intention with doing this is not to teach other, but to teach myself. So if I can explain it to other people, that means I understand the subject myself. And that's why I started to write this piece. It's essentially a dictionary meant for beginners, but it's a special type of dictionary in that it's based by grammatical subjects. So I first looked into complex verbs, and I gave an introduction of what type of verbs we have. here they are. You have simple ones. These are core. They are not derived of other verbs. And you have causative verbs. These start with a T, and sometimes they start with an S or a sema. And then you have complex verbs. These have a helping verb, a so-called light verb, which can be added to another word, and that word can be a verb, a noun, and it can even be a preposition, like tov, to confront. Here you have thap, to judge. Hap on itself is a noun, if I'm not mistaken. And you also have multi-worded verbs. These can have multiple layers. Ohi, alone, means to stop. E is a preposition. Gat is a noun. So you have 3 pieces. And you can go all the way. Here you have N, and then stoi nufi. Stoi nufi is a complex noun. And then E, and it means to burn incense. Then I looked into the states of verbs. This is just an introduction, by the way. Should I skip it and go to the main subject? Huh?
You do whatever you like. You have 5 minutes to teach us whatever you would like to show us.
Okay, so each verb can have up to 5 states, but not all verbs have all 5. So for example, shop is a good example because all 5 are available. And it's absolute, it requires an object marker, N or M, and here it's emos, if you remove the object entirely. Our focus today will be the construct state, which does not require an object marker. You can immediately glue it to the noun following it. And I'll skip all this. Yeah, here we go. A good example is mo'u, meaning water. You can essentially add any construct state of a verb to create a new verb. En, mo'u, to bring water. Egg means to make. Egg mo'u means to liquefy, or to make it liquid. And you can go all the way, timo, to give water, to water a plant, for example. And you also have the etymologically Greek verbs. They also require the egg, the construct state of igi. So in this paper, I focused on these 14 verbs. Number 7 is special and actually should be removed because ish is not a verb. It's a special type of verb called auxiliary verb, but I did not discuss it. So I should remove it to make it more equal, because it's not like ship or shen. It's a special type of verb, ish. So I will go, as they are arranged alphabetically, en, egg, mah, wah, wahem, sek, shen, ship, fi, he, jim, chi, and ti. For example, tot, meaning hand, and entot means to be insolent. And in the note, it says not to be confused with the preposition in tot, which I struggled with. Apparently, you can say if in tot, but it's just a preposition, it's not a verb. So the actual verb itself of in tot, it's to be insolent. And you can go on. It's essentially a dictionary. And
Thank you, Carlos. That's such a wonderful paper, actually. And I read the first draft carefully, and I enjoyed it really. So
yeah, and it's actually not complete yet because I have ideas to expand it.
That's very good. Please keep going.
This is the conclusion. These words, these possessed body parts, they are very essential in Coptic. They come in verbs, they come in preposition. You cannot escape them. So even in complex verbs, they make a huge part of it. And this is just a small summary. There are many examples available. I also delve a little bit, it's not complete yet, but Dr. Nabil, he makes new logisms using this method. So all these words you see highlighted, you will not find in a dictionary because they have been newly invented or made up, following rules, obviously. Eglas means to pronounce. It is coined by Dr. Nabil Ishaq in his 2018 study, which he published on the Coptic Treasury's website. I will expand this piece in the future. It's not fully yet. And then it follows an appendix. This naming, standardized Swahili pronunciation, is also coined by Dr. Nabil. And here I also followed his method, just standardized pronunciation. I also try to make some rules for the Jenkins, some general rules with some exceptions, of course. And this piece is not complete yet, but it's actually a main property of this essay. And it's a dictionary. It's a modern dictionary, how a modern Coptic dictionary can be viewed and perceived. It includes the word and its pronunciation following Appendix 1. And then the different meanings are arranged numerically, whether it's a verb, a noun, a conjunction, and so on. And then I recently added a new type. It is also a dictionary, but a specific, more specific. This one focuses on the morphemes used to create nouns in Coptic. This is also what Dr. Nabil uses in creating neologisms. These are new words that are not present in Coptic. For example, an, you can say anshash, meaning weak, but you can also say unmeet, meet being 10, unmeet as a total being a decade. And you can go on. So you have an, and then you have k. K is a special word because it can mean both another, and it can also have an inclusive meaning, to include someone, also or two. And I explained the differences between these two. I hope they are clear. and then you go to man, meaning place of. Awom being, for example, to eat. Man awom will become restaurant.
Can we have one more minute, Carlos, please, because we are already past 8.
That's it, essentially. After this, I will also go to the, what do you call them? This is a suffix. It comes at the end of the word instead of the beginning. So if you have nesteia, you can say nesteiao, fast, the big fast. Sach, sacho, teacher, professor. So you magnify the word. And you also have adjectival prefixes. These are also known, at, la, and shu. And then this one is not complete yet, but here I focus on the verbs which have a construct participle, which creates nouns of agent. So it's the ER at the end of a word. So for example, val, loosener, if you had to translate it literally, you have val heat. This U between the brackets means it's a genderless noun. So it can be masculine and it can also be feminine. So you can say T val heat or P val heat, naive person. This one is popular. My gomi, my shemmo, my pithnanef, and it goes on and on. I entered at the letter Sima, but when I finish it fully, I will give you the finished version. And that's it, essentially. And it ends with a list of bibliography. I did not use all the bibliography, to be honest. It's more of a list to encourage you to search. That's it.
Thank you very much, Carlos. Okay. Anybody would like to ask a Carlos question or to comment on his work?
Thank you very much, Kyros. Quite impressive work that you've done. Congratulations for your work. I wanted to know, because you said about Dr. Nabil Ishaq saying that we had to, we need in Coptic to create some new verbs. So I think he pointed out also, because I read about, I read an article from Dr. Nabil Ishaq, and he said that in Coptic, there's some words or some expressions that you cannot say with, like you need to create, like for example, for modern words, like like today we need to say a radio or a TV or something like that. But moreover, maybe we need also to create, like he said, words, because maybe, I don't know, do we have enough words to say all we want to say? That's my question in Coptic. Or is it lacking some words or some expressions? Maybe that's why we borrowed words from Greek. What do you say, Kiro?
Just for modern concepts, like you give, for example, radio or TV or Wi-Fi, anything technological related will eventually have to have its own naming in Coptic. And that's what Dr. Ishaq does. He comes up with these neologisms and he publishes them to see if other Coptic speakers agree or disagree.
I would love to see how can you translate Wi-Fi to Coptic.
Just Wi-Fi.
Okay, great. Thank you, Kiro.
You're welcome.
Does anybody else have any question to Kyrillos?
It's actually very impressive, and it needs lots of time to study. Actually, it's not to comment or to question. It's actually it's great work, and really need to study it hard.
Just because our time has passed, في حد حابب يعمل quick presentation? If we need some other people to do presentation, we can have another meeting. or you're happy to carry on for some more time if you would like to. I don't know. It's up to you, really. So في حد is preparing presentation other than the two who presented?
I'm preparing, but it's a different. I mean, it's a specific.
Go ahead.
I mean, it's not ready. It's about. I'm preparing a dialogue, so it's different than just regular studies. So I already did one. I mean, I finished one dialogue, but it was not appropriate for the subject, so I had to do another. I had to start another dialogue. It's not finished, so I don't have how to say it I cannot show you or share to you anything en concret en français. Tu me traduis, Kiro. So yeah. So I don't know what to say actually, Abouna.
Alexander, so are you trying to write text in Coptic instead of analyzing text? So you're writing your own text. So
Yes,
you're creating a text, basically. Is that
yes,
what
it's a text, but it's a dialogue, so it's intended to be talkative. So it's not like in the Bible, where it's very formal. It had to be more informal, like when you talk in English or in French, you don't talk like in the book, right? So we're trying to catch expressions, and I'm trying to search and look for expressions, and it's quite interesting. And I caught some, I mean, a lot of expressions that we use in Coptic for that are intended for a speech. And I'm continuing my work, and I guess it'd be ready for this weekend. So sorry for the delay, but
no worries. Whenever you are ready, please post it to our WhatsApp group or to me personally. I would love to read it.
Okay, my pleasure. My pleasure.
Does anyone have any question or comment to Alexander?
Great work طبعا كيرو يعني, but it shows that the language is very complicated. And it got a bit, because we don't speak it, it's just got a bit more difficult. I'm sure it's a bit like Shakespeare language when you read in English. The English we speak now is a lot simpler than Shakespeare's English, for example.
Does anybody else have any presentation or any comment or anything to say?
Yeah, I wanted to also to share something. It's different than the dialogue, right? It's about the Bible in Coptic. Actually, a friend told me about a psalm which is in the Holy Week, like the Friday. You have the psalm with Rafaduni in Arabic, Rafaduni. So here there is a sentence that is added. It exists only in Coptic, and it says that they nailed my arms and my feet, and this kind of sentence is an addition only present in the Buhairic version, not in the Sahili, and not in the Greek Septuagint. So this was quite interesting. I studied this small addition and trying to look for explanations. That was really interesting. As well as you can find in the book of Daniel, normally you have 14 visions, but in the Coptic tradition, there is an additional vision in which you can have the Prophet Muhammad. And yes, and I believe this is there was an article in French saying that this book of Daniel in Coptic, this additional book of Daniel is apocryph, and that it was written way after. It was because it was not rigorously written. If you look at the history or the way it was written, it does not fit in the context of the book of the ancient of the Hebrew, I mean, of Daniel. So that was a topic I was interested in. I wanted to do, I thought of doing a presentation in that topic, but then I preferred to concentrate on the dialogue. That's why I switched, and that's why I just left it over. And that's why I had a small delay. That's why.
Thank you, Alexander. Just I have a quick comment on Book of Daniel as a priest, as a Coptic Orthodox priest. And what's called deuterocanonical books. Basically, in the Old Testament, there are two big versions. It is the Hebrew Bible, which is translated now in New King James Version, King James Version, and so on. And we've got a Greek translation from the Bible, which was translated back in, BC, sometime BC, I think 200, 300 BC, something like this. And Septuagint, because it was translated by 70 elders. And that version of the Old Testament in Greek has more books than the canon in Hebrew. And it was adapted by the church in the first few centuries, and includes the extra text, extra text, including some extra chapters in the Book of Daniel, one extra psalm. That's only in Coptic version, really, and so on. A Book of Tobia, book of what's called, Judith, things like that. Several other chapters to do with Book of Esther and so on. And there are plenty of studies to prove it or to be against it. From the Orthodox point of view, of course, we agree about it. We take it as a Bible. Mainly Orthodox in two families, Oriental and Eastern, Chalcedonian and non-Chalcedonian, and even the Catholic Church as well. They accept these books in the Septuagint version. But it would be a good thing in the future if you can do a research and to prove it, why the traditional churches are they right, are they correct to accept these books or not?
Okay.
So it's just a quick comment on what you've said.
Okay, I'll take it. I take your advice for a possible study on that subject.
Actually, there are just as a starting point of research. If it's Arabic book, there's a version written by two scholars, I think, really good scholars. They made an introduction to each book. And in the English side, there's a book called Orthodox Study Bible. And they done a little bit of introduction to these books. I haven't read them recently yet, but they might offer you some ideas how to start research from.
Okay, Orthodox Study Bible. That's
Yes.
why I did it? Okay.
And probably you find lots of things in French, but I don't read French, so I'm recommending what I can read.
Okay. Thank you, Abouna.
Thank you, Alexander. Any more comments on Alexander's presentation, or anybody else would like to do a presentation? Shall I move to one final? I think you are very tired, concentrated more than 1 hour, and I appreciate that. But anyway, it's last time, so if it's a little bit longer than and I was hoping إن احنا نعمل questionnaire, people would put their input, they say what they like and what they don't like. If someone has the courage, not embarrassed, to say suggestion for the future, how to make this course better, please say. If you're embarrassed, I would like to be anonymous, I would respect that. This is my final question for today. Something you would like to improve the course, to improve the class. Probably not for your group, for common groups.
I have an idea. So I like the course very much, and Abouna, thank you very much because you are wonderful. And yes, I mean there are many things to say about how good you are and how you can manage the. It's a very hard subject to manage, and I think you're a good person to do that. And what I would suggest is, for example, maybe the thing is, when we study texts that are from the Bible, for us it's a little bit easier because we know we read it once, at least once, in our language, like in Arabic or in English or or French. So it's easier for us. But I tried before to read a text that is not from the Bible in Coptic Bukhari. It was way more difficult, actually. And to be honest, is what was more difficult. And I learned more, I think. So I wonder if we try once to translate a text, because I had some in Bukhari, can try to see how we can manage to understand and translate it. Maybe it would be a challenge, another challenge or coming challenge. I don't know, it's a suggestion. But what we do actually is very good, and I like it because it trains us also to understand and to compare with the original, and it has also a meaning. And yes, so that's why.
Thank you, Alexander. Would you mind sending me some resources?
Yeah,
I'll try
sure.
to do them myself first before introducing them into class, so I don't look very ignorant.
I have a book with some extract from for example, I have a story about the Amba Dioscoros or Amba Kerolos going to Magmanikia and explaining that he take with him like a story. I took with me Fulan, and I went to I took a boat to go there, and it's very nice. And also another story about Egypt in the 3rd century, where they were also pagans, and you can see they explain how the pagans are also doing how to say persecutions against Christians as well, and it's very interesting to read. So I will send it to you.
Thank you.
It's very nice.
حد تاني ولا انتوا خلاص very tired you would like to go to
I
bed?
think we should add a new level, level 6. So instead of translating from Coptic to English, we will translate, no. Instead of translating Coptic to English, we will translate English into Coptic as a level 6 idea. That would be
Let me write
challenge.
this down, actually. You say some very interesting stuff, Carlos and Alexander. Let me try to do this, actually. How to write and how to speak in Coptic. It might be a little bit advanced for me, so in this case, we might ask Dr. Nabil or somebody else, or maybe Dr. Gerges to do this. But yeah, it's a very good idea. Thank you for this. Emil, please go ahead.
So I second all the compliments that were given. I really benefit a lot from this course. I think for learning Coptic, I think when I took it in university, I remember the professor had a whiteboard. So when you have the text, a big helpful thing was always when you have this big grammatical structure, to cut it up in different pieces. And so when you have a tablet or something and you have the text on it, we can easily make notes on the text to understand in a more clear way. Often I feel some people maybe lost which word are we talking about, and so on and so forth. So this can be another helpful thing. And this and the advice for the essay is like, I don't know if another thing people would benefit from is to have smaller assignments. Like instead of a big essay, smaller 1 or 2 sentences, everyone should prepare from before the class, so that everyone is actively each week coming into the classroom, fresh in their mind the sentence, for example.
Thank you, Me. They are very helpful. Thank you very much. Any more comments or reflections? I've written all your suggestions for the future. And I'll share them, of course, with Gergis, who's in charge of the whole project of Coptic for All.
Can we also... Okay, go ahead.
I'm thinking about, thank you, Kiros. I was thinking about, I've been thinking about it for a while, an essay about how to kind of provide guidelines for people how to, when they want to teach Coptics. Like, again, all of us later on in our own churches may want to continue or start with teaching Coptic, but I'm not sure if people already thought about this issue about how to optimally do this for secondary school, Sunday school kids in 1 hour a week. What are some I want to think about principles, but I'm sure people have already thought about it before. Do you know anything about this, Abouna? Have people written about this? How to best teach, basically?
I'm not sure if we've got something written how to teach. We've got several books with some lessons to follow. But I think if you go through some advices, write them down, I think it should be a great piece of work. Because I don't think we try to do it systematically, instead of giving ready-made lesson on how to think or what age and what sort of things can meet their understanding. So please go ahead with your advices and your suggestion on this. If you can write it down into essay or something.
Okay.
I think for me it will be beneficial, at least.
Thank you.
Can I just say, Abouna, for me, the incentive for me to learn Coptic was all the songs in Alhan. And for the children as well, they learn, you know, they start with Hitin Brizveya and, you know, all these and Tasbiha and so on. So rather than they read it in Arabic or read it in English, they might as well read it in Coptic. So it can be a parallel thing to Alhan. You have a parallel lesson about very simple Coptic, because the music makes us all, I mean, it's one of the things well known that to learn a language, you know, if you know a music, a song, it makes it easier to learn. And then you break it up and you know how it is structured. But if it is just words, it will be very dry. If it's just grammar, you can't, I mean, it's too hard for me anyway. But if you have a structure, if you have a song and then you break it up like you've been doing, it's a lot easier to learn.
Thank you. Any more comments or suggestions?
Yeah, can we have a follow-up course in the summer maybe? To also give other people a chance to expand their essay or make a new one, something like that?
With similar level or with extra level that has been suggested, that we translate from a modern language to Coptic?
Yeah.
Well, what I'll try to arrange with Gergis, if we can have sort of this class, if they meet once a year or twice a year to speak in Coptic, to translate in Coptic, or to catch up, or you mean something more systematically or more often? I don't know.
More systematic would be preferred.
I speak with Gergis about it, but I have to be honest with you, Carlos. I'm going to start my PhD in September, and my time will be extremely limited. So I would love, but even if I'm going to miss this, I would love to see it keep going. So I will speak again to Gergis, Dr. Gergis, and see how can this be managed. In both cases, whether I'm present or whether I'm not.
Yeah.
But thank you for this. Yeah.
A level 6 would be enjoyable.
تمام. Thank you. I've written your suggestions. حد نعرف ID. Emil, are you raising your hand or you're clapping? I don't know.
No, I'm just clapping. I'm thankful. That's why.
Thank you. Thank you. حد تاني عايز يقول حاجة؟ Does anybody else would like to say anything? إك أووش إكساجي. هي مش إك أووش بقى تبقى إيه؟ بيتين ولا أنا عارف إيه؟
شبه متمشو.
إيه دكتور مدحت. Thank you very much. خلاص. I think at the end of this course, I'm very grateful for this class. It was really enjoyable. Thank you for bearing my weaknesses. It is my first time to teach Coptic in this level. And you endured my weaknesses. I'm really grateful for that. I really benefited from your comments, not today, but during the other 9 classes. I've learned a lot, and I wish you all the best. And I would ask and pray that we can meet in person one day. I would love and be looking forward to that. At least those who are living in the UK, please have a holiday in Llandudno.
Yes, yeah, we would love to.
And
When you come
those
to
who are-
London, let us know.
Yeah, if you
Sorry?
come to France, Abouna.
Or London.
Yes, of course. I would love to go to France, but I don't speak French, so I'm scared.
No
How
problem.
I'm going
no
to manage
problem.
myself.
You can
Here we
also
speak
come to
Arabic.
Belgium.
But I have you, Alexander. So anyway, so I'll arrive there, say Alexander, and then you can guide me. I'm sure you can do
Yeah, I'll take you from the airport, Abouna. No problem.
this. Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Alas, Yani, thank you very much. Have a great evening, and thank you for being here. And I would recommend to keep the WhatsApp group ongoing for catch up, for any comment. If you learn something new, if you would like to share something, please keep it going and alive. And goodbye, Ogai.
Thank you, Abouna. Goodbye.
Thank you, Abouna.
Guy.
Guy geen choice.
Bye.